welcome to another episode of the Farr Show, where I am Damien Farr, and tonight we're talking about my favorite albums of all time, where we're going from 1995, when I was born, all the way up to 2024, which there's an asterisk next to 2024, because the fact of the matter is, still in it. I'm filming this in early August, so there could be more albums coming out. I know right off the top of my head, Short and Sweet by Sabrina Carpenter is coming out, and the first two singles, Please 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 and Espresso, are pretty good, so who knows, that might become my favorite album of the year. Let's start talking about it though. Let's start going here where, once again, some of these years were, or I didn't even say this, I filmed a bit earlier and then got messed up, so not once again. So it was hard to pick some of the years, honestly, here for this, because some of them were really easy just based on knowing a lot of albums and then knowing my favorite one, and then some of them were really hard just because, for honestly, there wasn't anything that came out that I was like, this is great, I need this. So I will point out when it's a year that I said it's hard to pick just because there's nothing I really liked, or it was hard to pick because there was so much I liked, or I just knew right away. We'll make sure it's noted. So we're going to start with 1995, where I was born in September. So, feeling old now. Almost 29, nearly 30. So, for 1995, I had two options, where I picked Tragic Kingdom by No Doubt, but I also had Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette there as an option. I ended up going Tragic Kingdom just because I feel like Jagged Little Pill is just a hair overrated, and I haven't really listened to the whole thing. Same with Tragic Kingdom, if I'm being honest. Haven't listened to either of them. 1996, I have to pull it up because there's got to be a reason I picked this one, which is I picked First Band on the Moon by the Cardigans. There's got to be a reason why I picked it. There's got to be one song on it that I'm like, Lover Fool. Okay, that explains why I picked that one. I like Lover Fool. I mean, that's all there is to say, really. I mean, once again, another hard year to pick because, well, I didn't really listen to much things then. Then we got Homework by Daft Punk for 1996 or 1997. This one was pretty easy. It was between this or Boosh Yang Mang, which is Smash Mouth, but we'll get to Smash Mouth later here. So actually, we're getting to Smash Mouth 1998. Hello Nasty, the Beastie Boys was a good one as well. Why did I pick Hello Nasty? There's got to be a song on there as well. Like, I'm just thinking there's got to be a reason I picked these. Like, there's got to be a song on there that makes me think, yep, this is one that I need. Hello Nasty has Intergalactic, which is alright. Now we get to Smash Mouth, which 1999 had some bangers, so this one was kind of hard to pick. Astro Lounge, which is Smash Mouth. The Slim Shady LP by Eminem, 2001 by Dr. Dre, and Willeminium by Will Smith. I went with Astro Lounge just because, personally, I actually had a copy of Astro Lounge. That was my first CD growing up. And the reason I loved that album is I think the reason we all loved it, which was, what song was it? Which was All Star and Can't Get Enough of You Baby were both on it. And both were amazing songs, so that one just kind of wins in my book, partially because of, you know, I don't know what you'd call it, the nostalgia. Then we got 2000, which is Stankonia, I think that's how you pronounce it, by Outkast, which is a great album as well, which has got B.O.B. and Miss Jackson, So Fresh and So Clean. This was the only one that I saw that was 2000 that I'm like, this is it. 2001, though, we had two big heavy hitters, which was Discovery by Daft Punk, which is the one I went with, and then The Blueprint by Jay-Z, which Ain't No Love in the Heart of the City is amazing, but Discovery is just one that I can always go back to anytime I'm feeling like it. Now we get to 2002, where this one also had two heavy hitters, which is The Eminem Show by Eminem, which is the one I picked, and Justified by Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake's one of my favorite artists, or at least was. I haven't really listened to his newer stuff, if I'm being honest. And we'll say when the last one that I really listened to was of his, but pretty good. Then we got 2003, where I've got two options, which is Daft Club, which I did not pick, by Daft Punk, which is a remix album, and Speakerboxxx The Love Below by Outkast, which is a double album. This one I love more than Skankonia. I think that's how you pronounce it once again. I love the idea of double album, because it's like they're both making their own separate album, which I think partially led to Outkast's, falling out, because they both tried their own stuff and were like, I don't like this stuff, 2004, we got The College Dropout by Kanye West, which is not the one I picked. We got Confessions by Usher is the one I picked, which had, I think it was My Boo? No, it wasn't My Boo. Confessions Part 2 or whatever. What other songs are on here? Yeah, Burn, Confessions Part 2, My Boo is in here. It was just a great album. I mean, there's nothing to say other than it's a great album. 20 years old, though, now to think about it. Usher was about 25 when he released it. That's insane. So, I love this album. I think it's great. It doesn't hurt that, was it featured in one of my favorite movies, which is Hitch. So that definitely helps. We get to 2005, where we got either Late Registration by Kanye West or Human After All by Daft Punk. I went Human After All. Though it's Daft Punk's arguably worst album. Still a great album, nonetheless. And it was completely different from anything else that was going around at the time. 2006, this one was an easy year. Easy. We got Future Sex Love Sounds by Justin Timberlake. This album made me start to consider I want to do something in music. I mean, just the way it flows together. I also never knew at the time, or never really, had an idea of what an interlude and a prelude was. But oh my god, I loved it. Future Sex Love Sounds is a great start. Sexy Back is amazing. Sexy Ladies, Let Me Talk to You prelude. My Love, Love Stone, I think she knows interlude. What Goes Around, ... comes around interlude. Chop Me Up is kind of eh. Damn Girl's pretty good. Summer Love, Set the Mood prelude is amazing. Until the End of Time is amazing. Losing My Way is pretty good. Another Song All Over Again, also pretty good. Honestly, I love this album. It's one of my favorites of all time. It's one that I can always go back to. When I'm feeling down, I just listen to it and it just brightens my day a little bit, Then we got 2007, where we got either 303 by 303, or we got Graduation by Kanye West, and it's Graduation. I mean, I think this is best of the first three albums. I love the Daft Punk incorporations, and I find it ironic that, Late Registration lost to Human After All, and then, Graduation ends up being the one that has Daft Punk samples, and it's my favorite Kanye West album, so that's funny. Flashing Lights, Stronger are two amazing. Can't Tell Me Nothing. Just a great album all in all. Now we got 2008. This was a hard year because we had One of the Boys by Katy Perry, her first album, which is a real pop rocky album. Played at Warped Tour, which I never went to, but seems odd to me looking back. Then we got 808s and Heartbreak by Kanye West, which is maybe my second favorite Kanye. It's easily my second favorite Kanye West album. Then we got Want by 303. This is my favorite 303 album, so it just is fitting that it's here. It's got Don't Trust Me, Still Around. The big mix is perfect. Then you got Starstruck with Katy Perry or without Katy Perry. Just a great one all overall. 2009. There's not much here except A Matter of Time and One Foot Out the Door. Both are mixtapes by Mike Posner. I like One Foot Out the Door just a hair more, so. 2010, we got Streets of Gold by 303. The follow-up wasn't as good. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye West. I think it's a hair overrated. Teenage Dream by Katy Perry. 5 singles going #1 off the same album. Great album, actually, overall. It also smelled like cotton candy, which was ironic. Well, not ironic, it made sense. Tron Legacy by Daft Punk, which is a soundtrack, actually. Then we got 31 Minutes to Take Off by Mike Posner. Remember how I said that Future Sex Love Sounds made me think I kind of want to do something in music? 31 Minutes to Take Off made me want to do stuff in music. They actually had a pretty similar style, and I like them both. And both of them made me think, this is something I could do. After 31 minutes to take off, I started writing, actually. And started thinking, this is fun. I like this. Now, 2011 is another stacked year. We got Nostalgia Ultra, which is a mixtape by Frank Ocean. We got The Layover, which is a mixtape by Mike Posner. We got Watch the Throne by Jay-Z and Kanye West. Tron Legacy Reconfigured, which is a soundtrack remix album, which is crazy to think. And then we have the one that I picked, which is Plus by Ed Sheeran. I love this like folk indie feel of this one. Compared to his newer stuff, this one was a good one. Then we got 2012, where we got a few of them here. We got Red by Taylor Swift. This one, she was starting to go more pop-oriented, and I loved it. Then we also have Channel Orange by Frank Ocean, which I picked. This album is great. I think it's all around almost perfect album. 2013, we got Yeezy by Kanye West. Because the Internet by Childish Gambino. Random Access Memories by Daft Punk. But, sorry Daft Punk, you may have won the Grammy, but I gotta give it to the 2020 Experience, The Complete Experience by Justin Timberlake. Don't get me wrong, it's a double album, and technically they're 2 separate releases, but they, compilated them together. There's, don't get me wrong, there's some songs that are like, I don't know about that. But, it's so good that I have to keep it on there. 2014, we got one of them here, which is Multiply by Ed Sheeran. Is this better than Plus? I'm on the fence, but best album of the year. Then we got 2015, where I got Made in the AM by One Direction. It's ironic. One Direction, I started really listening to them in 2015, and then they broke up that same year. They didn't break up. They're on hiatus, but let's be real. They're never coming back together. Then we got 2016, where we got Suicide Squad, the album. Another soundtrack one. Don't worry, there's going to be a lot of those suddenly. Starboy by The Weeknd, and Awaken My Love by Childish Gambino. It's Awaken My Love. That's such a good album. I love listening to it. Then, 2017, we got 3 options here. We got Flicker by Niall Horan. We got Harry Styles by Harry Styles. Crazy. And then Reputation by Taylor Swift. I went Reputation by Taylor Swift. I love this, like, electronic feeling to it. It feels completely different to anything she released before then and after, and I loved it. Then we got 2018, where we got Black Panther, which is various artists, a soundtrack album again, and then Flicker featuring the RTE Concert Orchestra by Niall Horan. It's a live album. I liked this one more than Black Panther, but then again, 2018 for me, there's not much, so that's the one we're going with. 2019, we got Fine Line by Harry Styles. Great album. Lover by Taylor Swift. If this other album didn't exist, it would be the one. Which is City of Lover by Taylor Swift. Which is also called Lover Live from Paris as well. It's a live album. It's just taking Lover songs and having them live. And there's so many versions that I like better on City of Lover. The only song I don't like on there is Me. Every version is better in my opinion. So, interesting. 2020. We got a couple options here. We got Birds of Prey, the album soundtrack for that. We're going to see a theme here. It's Margot Robbie movies that get the soundtrack ones now. And then we got Heartbreak Weather, which is Niall Horan. This is easily my favorite album of 2020. It's probably my favorite album of all time. With Future Sex Love Sounds and 31 Minutes to Take Off, so convenient there. 2021, we got The Suicide Squad, which is an amazing soundtrack. And then we got Sour by Olivia Rodrigo. I gotta go Sour Olivia Rodrigo. It lets in my inner teenage girl every time I listen to it. 2022, we got Midnights by Taylor Swift, and then I picked Harry's House by Harry Styles. I think it's just such a great album that I couldn't not pick it. 2023 is the COVID's over. Here's some albums, in my opinion, which is Barbie the Album, which is a soundtrack. Margot Robbie coming back. The Show by Niall Horan, which is a follow-up to Heartbreak Weather, but doesn't live up in my opinion. Still a good album, but nowhere near as good. Guts by Olivia Rodrigo. And then we got 99 Nights by Charlotte Cardin. I saw her at Summerfest. Listened to this album right before. This album's amazing. Then for 2024, there's an asterisk once again. But we got... we either have Alla Vista by Childish Gambino or Radical Optimism by Dua Lipa. And though I love Alla Vista, it technically released in 2020 unfinished. And then it's technically a finished one, which, sure. But I just can't put that as my favorite album of the year, so I gotta go Radical Optimism by Dua Lipa. Ironically enough, though, I don't know how to explain it, but Radical Optimism is great, but there's an option where there's... I don't know what they called it exactly. It was re-released, and I'm trying to look up the name right now. Extended versions. That was so much better, and that's going to be my album of 2024 for now. Once again, it could change. Who knows? Maybe there'll be a different one. That's my favorite album of 2024. So, my opinions are wrong. What's your favorite album of each year since you've been born? Tell me in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and have a far off night.